Why does this movie? Why do these movies insist? Like this one's called Furious 7.
Furious 7, yep.
Yet the title sequence is like Fast and Furious 7, and they did it in 6 as well. It just like the movie itself calls
The
itself
movie itself is
Fast
like,
and
I don't want
Furious.
to. I'm not doing that bullshit. I'm not doing it. Don't be just ridiculous.
It's like the marketing team doesn't talk to whoever does the title. It's
and they've never. It's a new film, right? Furious 7.
Seven?
So like the ridiculous 6. All right, cool. All right, Furious 7. Like, no, this is a 7th in the Fast and Furious franchise. Well, good thing we got 7 lucked out. That was lucky.
We're gonna have that appear while a car drives, left to right of frame. Have it appear. People love that. Oh, where was the title before the car was there? It was behind it.
Oh my god. That's the power of a car, huh? My name is Oscar.
My name's Carl, and this is
Who Would Watch This? Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we're talking about Furious 7, which currently has an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 3.2 on Letterboxd, and a 7.1 on IMDb. Oscar, what's the plot?
Suddenly got Whiplash. Deckard Shaw seeks revenge against Dominic Toretto and his family for comatosing his brother.
Is that the plot?
Do we think he's comatose? Do we think Shaw got comatose? Pre-Shaw got comatose?
He should sort of just be like glue.
Kind of thick paste on a pavement, essentially.
When you are thrown out of a fast-moving plane onto a gravel road, stories in the air, you should cease to exist.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a scratch on him in that hospital
It's like he's
bed.
in a coma. Oh god! But then every other character that got flung out, they're like, well, they're dead. Don't be ridiculous. But Shaw, pre-Shaw, he might make it. Carl, before we jump even more into the Shaw talk,
We're keeping it all about Shaw today.
It's a heavy Shaw episode.
heavy
I
Shaw.
fucking love Shaw.
For sure.
For sure, it's Shaw, baby.
Sure.
Now, Carl, we've been doing a little thing. It's your turn, which is great.
I don't want to do it.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
I'm so tired.
I'm a bit broken by these franchises, but I thought 7 was like, oh, that's the good one everyone likes. Guess what? Watching this many in a row, I want someone to drive a car in my face.
Yeah, I think it's hard to enjoy them if you watch them in a row.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for people to consume one after the other, and I think the movie is hoping you don't do that as well. All right, How long do I get?
You get
90 minutes?
I think
I can just do the podcast on my own if you want. I'll just recap them. Fuck it.
Let's give you 100 seconds. I feel like that's fair.
100 seconds.
Your time starts now.
Oh, what? Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
The Brian and Dom, they were in LA together. They were trying to hunt one another. They didn't really become friends. Brian let Dominic go. Second one. Brian meets Tyrese Gibson. They find a drug dealer in Florida. They save the day. Everybody's happy. The third one, we go to Tokyo. It's a whole new cast. At the end, Dominic Toretto walks in. Fourth one, turns out that the third one is really after all of the next couple of movies. Fourth one, basically just a redo of the first one. Letty's killed. They need to avenge her and find the killer. It brings Brian back to Dom. They become better friends this time round. And Mia gets pregnant. The fifth one happens. This is the best one. They go to Rio. The Rock comes in. He's hunting them. By the end of it, they become friends. And this ragtag group of people are able to rob a bank. They take a big safe. Causes mayhem. We also meet Chris Hemsworth's wife. And then in the sixth one, The Rock's like, oh my god, those guys were really good at stealing stuff. I'm going to get them to hunt down somebody named Shaw. And so they bumble around London and Europe looking for Shaw. They successfully find him. They stop the plane going away. And then what happens at the end of that movie? They get annulled. No, they don't get annulled. What happens? They get their freedom. They've got their freedom. They're allowed to go back to LA. It's an absolute shithole. I don't know why they didn't stay in their beautiful Europe palace. But there you go.
That's done. That's
sure.
time.
Is that
Bang.
good?
You've smashed it.
And I think that's all you need to know.
That Han died officially, but not by the third stake. It's actually.
I think it's pretty imperative after doing that little bit just then, realizing how unimportant any other character is apart from Brian and Dom.
Yeah, pretty much. They're kind of the glue that holds this franchise together.
Han gives no value to any of the movies, and he's like their best character.
They're really like, oh, we'll rely on the Gibbs a lot more now because we've lost Han.
Oh, they give Tyrese Gibson a lot of screen time this time around.
They were playing around with it, see what worked, and it worked.
Ooh.
It did not fail. How should we get into Fast and Furious 7 or Furious 7?
I think I do also want to quickly call out, this may be the best reviewed movie we've ever done on the podcast.
It might be, yeah, very much so.
I can't remember. It's either this or Fast 5. I think maybe it might be this one by a smidgen.
A smidgen, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Which is odd. We should call it out now.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Obviously, this is the movie that Paul Walker passes away during filming.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave that small little bit of discussion to the end.
Yeah.
I think when that's...
I think that'll come up to the end.
Yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely. All right, so shall we begin?
Let's get into it.
I think this opening scene with Jason Statham walking through the hospital is the best scene of the film and sets you up on a path that the movie then absolutely does not deliver.
No.
It was such a shame.
You've got this cool, again, it is hilarious that Shaw's lying in a bed, looking, it's like Luke Evans, looking fine, and he's just like,
Great.
Hey, I'm going to avenge you because you're in a coma, winks to the camera, like, you'll be back from the movies. He won't. But they just walk through the hospital, complete destruction, bit of fun. It shows that, he's a menace, this Jason Statham.
He's a menace to society.
Yeah.
And he should be stopped.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think they do this whole, he's, takes no bullshit villain, blah, 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 blah.
He's probably the most, actual villain that we see at the start of the movie and are scared of.
Absolutely.
Normally it's just sort of by the fact, oh, fuck, there's a villain. He's an issue. But, Dom normally is, a hero at this point. So, it's fine.
Well, let's get into what I think is the big reason this movie bogs itself down, is they do not commit to having a villain. The fact that we are given Jason Statham at the beginning of the movie, and he says he's going to try and hunt them all down.
Yeah.
And that the movie has nothing to do with that. And it's really about a thing called God's Eye.
Oh, yeah.
Always rubbed me the wrong way. Because the movie then has no idea what it wants to do. Why would you have, this is easily your best set up villain, and they do nothing with it?
I don't know why I remember this, but I thought there'd be a twist villain of Kurt Russell. And I thought they'd be working together. But no, it's just... He's fine. It is a bit lackluster. Ironically, though, it's still the best villain this series has ever had, which is not saying much.
No, it's that guy from 4 who comes back in 6.
Oh, yeah. Remember, what's his name?
It's hard to remember because, we didn't know he was the villain, and then it turned out he was the villain. It was pretty...
That's the only reason why we can't remember his name.
Oh, they really... It's the fact that they pulled a fast one on us, you might say. That's why I remember him. Maybe he wore a hat.
Who's to say? Jason Statham does not wear a hat.
He does not wear a hat, and thus
that's why I remembered him.
we put him in the column of the not hat wearing villains.
Yeah, no, he's doing well. But he's more of a nuisance. They've got a fun set piece. He more just adds to each set piece. You've got them doing something insane and stupid, and they're well, I think they're going to be fine. The odds are stacked against them, and then Jason Statham pops up at every set piece. It's he's an extra bit to that. So he's not really like a structural villain, more just
he's around.
Yeah.
It's also a really weird thing that they do that I think maybe I'll just say it now. The whole first third of the movie is set up for Jason Statham coming to try and find them and kill them. And then as soon as they could even... It feels like they're about to wrap up that piece of the story. And Kurt Russell walks in and goes, "Leave him. Work for us. And if you work for us, we'll help you find him. It's the man who just ran over there."
It's crazy. This has happened 5 times to Dom. That pretty much they're hey, I've got a vendetta against somebody. And then someone's comes into the side, goes, "Hey, we're also kind of hunting them. You want access to our technology, and you just sort of figure it out, and then we'll sort of either kill him or we owe you a favor." That's happened so many times.
How many favors does this guy need? What's he
Dom's
gonna do with it? He never fucking cashes in a favor. He should say that more.
He should.
I got to cash in a favor.
Anyway, we've got, so that's the intro to Shaw.
Yep.
Then luckily we get the best main plot of this entire franchise. Letty still lost her memory, and Dom and stuff are trying to get back in love. Ugh, it tugs on your heartstrings, doesn't it?
It is. Titanic, eat your heart out.
It kind of is. And where more is romantic? Race wars. Race wars.
The fact that they brought back race wars was huge.
I thought the law of race wars, because I feel like they were like, we started race wars. Bad saying to say anyway. But
you also reckon by the time this movie rolls around, they'd be like, it'd be dumb to keep calling it race wars.
It'd be really dumb to keep calling it race wars, but I think it attracts a certain audience. However, do you think, imagine going, I feel like it'd be really overpriced race wars now.
I think so too.
It'd be like $25 for a beer. Like, it's in the middle of the desert. It'd be an absolute, it's like a sham of Burning Man or something right like that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we don't see them drink a single beer there, do we?
No.
So obviously they are priced out.
Yeah.
The core
it's a sober event. Race wars, we're the soberest event. You really got to hate race to really come to race wars sober.
Vin Diesel's what's Vin Diesel's name?
Dominic Toretto.
Yeah, Dominic Toretto's upset that race wars has been gentrified.
Yeah, he's like, oh, man, it used to be so multicultural. What happened, huh? Was it our motto?
People used to die out here. Look at all the safety. Fucking bullshit. Yeah, so Letty's still got amnesia.
You say that like it's depressing.
When she was standing over her grave, I thought, wow, this series has come far.
My favorite, she drives off because she remembers like a painful memory. She goes to the gravestone. Dom comes and follows her. He's like, I've got a sledgehammer. She's like, whoa, where'd you get the sledgehammer from? Did he know where she was going, or did he just have a hammer on him?
I think he just always has it on him. That's why he can never win those races against Paul Walker. The car's down with this giant comedic hammer. Oh god,
I've got something, you fool. I've got a big mallet, a big bear trap.
It looks like he's hunting
stick of dynamite. Just got an Acme, like a corner in the back.
The big twist here was finding out Letty's short for Letitia. I was floored.
It is nuts. I guess it makes sense. Letty is really a name.
Immediately, I feel like I was the fool, but I pointed at the screen with my friends and I said, her name's Letitia. So I had a bit of fun with that. 5 out of 5. Pretty good so far.
It's pretty good so far.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
Okay. We've also catched up with Brian. He's a dad. Fun little
it's a fun little bit.
It's a fun bit.
It's the best bit of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any comedy again.
It's like the first time, because normally their comedy is like written and it's not good writing in the sense of that. But this one was like a visual gag. It's like, good on them. Good on them.
Visuals. Stick to it, guys.
Stick to them, huh?
Stick to
he's
the
in
visuals.
He's like, he's going to race and he's in a minivan. It's a bit of fun.
Just dropping off the kid.
Yeah.
Weird the teacher grapples the child out of the car.
Yeah.
And is like, I'll just take her into school for you. I was like, don't trust that woman.
Her credit was hot teacher. So,
Interesting.
Because the script was like a hot teacher. No, not a frumpy one. People think it's no chance that anyone would be
thick, wide hip teacher just written there for the dialogue. I was a hot teacher once in Furious 7. Made $1.5 billion.
So didn't see a nickel. Did not see a nickel.
You want me to sign something? Your breast, maybe?
To another woman, just like, come here, toots, let me sign you. This is hot teacher.
To an older woman. Yeah. She's a nursing home worker saying it to multiple patients. Can write it on your chest where you had your lung removed.
You've made hot teacher so unsexy. It's congratulations. You made it like let me sign your scar tissue. You saggy whore. God.
But let me fire up the movie for you up there. You can't reach the TV. We choose what you watch. Isn't that
My
right?
movie can.
We'll do the special features after. You'd be able to choose, but you were playing with dynamite and both your hands got blown up in 1942.
This podcast episode is going to be great in the nursing home. Our Spotify analytics like 81 to 90. Mwah, you nailed it.
We found out works. Hey, Oscar, this movie's kind of like when you're pissing in a bedpan.
You ever not hear from your kids?
You ever got a card occasionally, just hanging up on the wall? Go, hey, it's from my grandson. Do you reckon he really sent it? Nah. You ever need someone to help you chew?
Where else are we at?
So we see Brian's life.
Yes. He's miserable.
Yep.
He doesn't say it. All the characters around go, God, I'd kill myself if I was in his shoes. He's like happily with his kid. And Mia's like, I don't know what to do, Dom. He's just so fucking miserable. You need to help him. He is going to divorce me like that and leave me with this kid.
He loves bullets. It's like a line in the movie.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't even miss the race anymore. He misses the bullets.
I thought it was like the family. No, he misses the guns. He misses the danger.
He misses killing a man. That's what he's
Seeing the life bleed from his eyes. You can't get that at preschool drop-off.
Oh, I woke up the other night, his hands wrapped around the neck of hot teacher, begging to kill her.
Oh, but what a role. She really lucked out on that role. God, I wish I was watching that movie right now, seeing her act.
God, I wish I was watching the preschool drop-off bit from Fast and Furious 7. It's weird. Mia also then says, I'm pregnant again.
Yeah.
And then goes, I don't know how to tell my husband. Why? That can't be healthy.
No.
You've just had 2 red flags. My husband misses the bullets, and I don't want to tell him I'm pregnant.
These characters can't live a normal life. What's Dom do? Like, he's not taking out the bins. Like, his life can't be.
When's the last time Dominic Toretto did an inch of housework?
Yeah.
When was the last time he picked up a mop or a broom?
You can't. He only has sledgehammers. That's the only, like, the biggest thing, closest thing to tools he has.
Him rubbing it along the concrete to try and get the dust into the corner of the room with his giant hammer.
Hey, I gotta go race soon. What the hell?
Oh, I'm only making it worse. Mia, clean this up. I gotta go race.
Anyway, we come back to Hobbs. Hobbs is in this one.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So we meet Hobbs again.
Yeah.
This is not even the same character from the 5th and 6th one anymore.
No.
It's just The Rock.
He's
come into playing The Rock. Right?
He's kind of doing, like, he's macho, but he's like, I'm pretty chill now. I'm charismatic.
He's
I'm a bit
also
of fun.
slightly southern.
He's got a drawl, doesn't he?
But it comes and goes.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's The Rock. Bad boy. I'll beat ya.
It is a bit weird, isn't it? They keep
Yeah.
saying boy.
Keeps calling boy. I hated when he said woman in this movie.
Oh, God.
Woman?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, don't do that.
Smacks my mum. You say it, woman. Don't you tell me what to do. It was like, oh, my God.
And then back to that southern drawl. Boy.
It was a strange choice, but I think it works in this film. You know what? Good on Dwayne.
I think it was clear he was either filming something else or definitely was hating having to work in these movies.
Yeah, definitely. But he's got he fights with Shaw. This is post Shaw. No, current Shaw.
This is Cree Shaw.
They have a fun little fight scene.
They do. This is a fun little bit.
Yeah.
We've got James Wan behind the camera. We've got a new director in.
Yeah.
I think the franchise needed a new director. I quite liked Justin Lin.
Yeah.
Doing his. I thought he was pretty good with action, but it was nice. I thought his direction in the last one got really like sleek and sort of dull and it was really clean direction.
There's some really fun shots in this. There's that they do it quite a lot with like they'll spin someone
twist,
over. The twisted camera. There's a later scene where they do like this great like sudden zoom on like the whole hallway. It looks it's just some fun camera work. There's a lot of the sleekness. You'll feel very much natural, but there's something to go, oh, there's a bit of something else here.
And I think because it's a horror director, he loved doing just a little bit of killing in this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
There's one where he just rams somebody headfirst into like a sharp tree.
Yeah.
For no reason.
No reason, but it's a good bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's just a little bit of... It feels like this movie is an in-between of 5 and 6's tone.
Yeah.
I think it's got a little bit more of the sleekness of 6, but occasionally a bit of like the rough cuts and everything of the 5th one.
Which is what you want, really. You want a bit of something, a bit of... Otherwise, 6 felt very bland in the end. Like, the fight scenes were like, we're doing a fight scene. Whereas this one was like, we've got a bit of fun, you know, here. Anyway, Shaw blows up Hobbs. He's in hospital.
Yeah, this fall... Good on him.
Yeah.
Crazy he was A-okay.
We're past... if we start critiquing the fact that these people should be dead... I mean, we've got in this film alone, all dead.
If we need to critique something, shall we critique this woman's haircut?
Get her.
It was
fuck her.
Bad hair. I'm sorry, but bad hair. Maybe I wouldn't have noticed it, but watching the movie with a woman, I'll say, she thought the hair was atrocious, and she felt like it was the movie said she's not allowed to be desirable to anyone anymore.
God, what was this woman you were with? What was just like, God, let me destroy this woman's entire appearance. It's bad. Get her on the podcast.
She then
She's
turned to me
mean.
and she said, repeat that. I said, I will, and that's what I've just done. So
Good for her.
do with that information what you will. Shout out to a pretty infrequent listener who had never watched a Fast and Furious movie before.
So the guy's ghastly hair.
And also clocked out 5 minutes after this bit.
The hair was too much. I've got to get out of here.
Didn't even let them hop in cars before she went, nah, it's not for me. So
Oh.
it's nice to see them go to a hospital for once.
Yes.
The Rock is at the hospital.
Yeah.
It turned out this was another twist that I'd forgotten about this movie is though we were to believe the sixth movie had caught up to the third film, it had not. And that was a flash forward into like 30 minutes into this movie.
Yes.
Because Shaw breaks into Hobbs' office to find out about Han, to then go and kill Han, to then call Vin Diesel, to then set off a bomb at Vin Diesel's
crazy.
house.
He got a list of people to kill, and he went, right, I'll start with the one in Japan, and then come back.
I'll work my way out
Yeah.
and in.
Yeah, like a spiral. Like
Yeah.
you're flushing a toilet, you gotta start the out, and you gotta swirl
Kill
them all
the
in.
least necessary one to your brother's coma. Like,
Yeah.
Han's not going anywhere.
No.
It's so weird after all of this to just think Han went and joined the Yakuza.
Yeah.
So funny. He
It's
was
nuts.
so rich.
So rich.
So rich by the end of the sixth
They were
one.
struggling with money. Luke was like, I've got 20 grand, kid. You can have it. It's like, he had 10 million at one point.
Han had so much money. I guess that's what happens when Giselle dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, join the Yakuza.
He was going for a tough part of his life. He needed something. Dom goes to visit Dwayne. Dwayne, I feel like in these movies, he's been a bit like, oh, the law's just, a suggestion. This one, he just goes, listen, man, you got full immunity. You kill him. Any means necessary. You kill any civilian, that's fine. You gotta kill Shaw.
The president just called. Go for it.
You've got a license to kill or any friend you want. They've got a little pass. You can kill. I don't mind.
Take my kid if need be.
He has
I
a kid.
don't care.
I don't care about the kid. I don't know why.
Yeah, Hobbs having a kid.
Yeah.
There's a big subplot in the movie in Hobbs and Shaw.
Don't you dare.
Huge. Huge.
We're not doing that.
Most of the film.
I don't want to. Little to no Shaw, a lot of Hobbs and
No,
daughter.
it's Hobbs and Shaw support the daughter. That's it. It's daughter supported by Hobbs and Shaw and a little
Jesus.
bit of Idris Elba.
Oh, good for him. Now, Dom goes to Tokyo to vibe out. Carl, I squealed.
Huge.
I squealed.
So the other friend that I watched this with who had been watching them all
Yeah.
loved this moment.
This is a great. I've never been like a Star Wars or Avengers person that goes to the cinema and sort of celebrates when like Black Widow or like I don't know.
Yeah, a cameo happens. or
Yeah, I'm
something.
like, oh, Daredevil, who gives a shit? When Sean and Twinkie were on screen, I squealed. However, it was not Twinkie, I don't think. Is it Twinkie?
It's Twink.
It is
It's
Twink.
just Twink.
It's just Twink.
Yeah, because my friend went, Twink!
They're on screen.
It's
This is
so-
huge.
the editing of the original Tokyo Drift footage
Yeah.
of meeting Twink and whoever the other
Sean.
guy, Sean, to then continuing on that footage into now, when Sean looks maybe 40 and still has to be 17 in according to the timeline. He's 17 years
This
old.
film spent like $50 million like fixing up Paul Walker's face and like all that sort of stuff and body doubles, and they were like, "Fuck it, we're not spending a cent on that.
We're not doing anything for that 17-year-old character.
As a 40-year-old man, it's a scene. Fuck it."
Surely they went, nobody's seen Tokyo Drift, nor will anyone watch these back to back.
Yeah,
We did.
we did.
We know what you did, and that's not even try. You disgusting film. You don't even care.
Oh, they did not give a shit.
No, not at all. But
Anyway, Sean's like, "All right, I've got minutes, seconds before I'm out of this film. Here's a necklace.
take it.
Take it."
Take the necklace and run.
Dom touches it. He gets like a Lord of the Rings like vision. He's like, "Oh, Letty."
It is. We need to remember though, for if Sean comes back,
Yeah.
this movie is now taking place in 2005,
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Right. The
Oh wait, 2014, I think.
no, because Tokyo Drift takes place in
2014. I think that's what they said. Or it's 2009. I'm not sure.
So we're unsure of if the movie took place in 2009 or 2014.
My only thing is that Letty's gravestone said 2009, but now I'm thinking that's because she died in the fourth one or the fifth one. When did she die?
She died in the fourth one.
Yeah.
But Tokyo Drift...
I think is technically in 2014.
Right, so what they've done is they've aged up Tokyo Drift instead of aging back the series.
Yes, exactly. So
Wow.
with all their flip phones, they're like 2014,
2014.
So now in present day.
That's so poor.
It's so dreadful.
So that means what? Sean is 17 years old when we see him in this movie. And the next time we see him, which is going to be like another 10 years later, he's only meant to be 27. Remember that when we see him visually.
I'm so excited.
20, somebody slightly older than us.
I'm so keen. All right. We're at Han's funeral, and then
they don't care.
They don't give a shit.
Okay, we're at Han's funeral. Shaw rolls up in a car.
Yes.
What does Dominic do?
He's mid-speech, mid-morning, jumps in a car, speeds after him.
Nobody else notices or wants to pursue?
I think they're just like, let Dom do his thing. We could see his sledgehammer in the back. He was like, he's on a mission. Let him do his thing. Vin chases Shaw. They go to this like abandoned, I don't know, these warehouses bridge thing. They both have like a chicken off where they're going to drive into each other's car. This is a crazy recurring thing.
Why do they keep
doing this and not dying? Both of them at like 150 kilometers an hour drive straight into each other going, reinforced bumper. What the fuck is a reinforced bumper? How does it work? Surely this kills.
It must. Wouldn't it? Yeah, that
they
would obliterate.
You cracked my neck.
Do any airbags pop up?
No, I don't. Not a single
Not
airbag.
A single airbag.
He just goes smack straight into the steering wheel at 150 kilometers go, that Vin, huh? Damn, he's crafty.
All right, so after they've crashed their cars, they get out for a fight. Vin Diesel's upset. Jason Statham's brought a gun.
That's not the rules. What the fuck?
I've just got my hammer that I was going to beat down Letty's grave with.
Smash your head in with concave your face. Why can't I use that? Why'd you bring a gun?
All I've done is brought my broom. That's a hammer, Vin. Oh.
Anyway, before they can start, the CIA or FBI, I don't know who these people are, but they're
Mr. Nobody.
They're top military people. You don't need to know. They come in. Kurt Russell's like, "Hey, don't worry about him. We got a God's eye to figure out. Come with me. I'll buy you a Corona."
Oh my god! How much do you think Corona paid for this scene?
Jesus, I feel like in the other ones, I was kind of waiting for it to be a bit more abusive.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't know. It's not that bad. This one was atrocious. Kurt Russell's like, I got myself a Western German beer. Would you like one? Dom's like, no, I'll take a Corona. And Kurt Russell's like, that's great because they're a great brand. I love the taste of them. They don't compare to this, but they're their own thing, and you should have a. And if you win, I'll buy you a case of Corona.
Here's a bucket with them already cooled.
Oh,
and
the
just
logo.
Remember, yeah.
Oh, God.
And he's basically the whole scene is Kurt Russell basically going, "This is a great beer for a middle-income family."
Listen, if you're low, it's a bit of a step up. It could be a nice little fancy thing. Medium, it's a casual beer. If you're kind of, it's a Tuesday beer. If you're really, a bit upper middle class, but it's kind of for everybody. It's got a role for everybody, and that's the beauty of a Corona.
Let's face it, you wouldn't put lime in a good beer. All right, Vin, you wouldn't do it. You know it. I'll buy you a case if we win. Come on.
What other beer do they put limes and things? How shit is your beer that you have to put a fucking citrus? Like, you gotta mellow the flavor. You gotta. Bit of sugar in there, maybe. Just kind of give it something.
Oh, yeah. Just, if you get a Corona, I can't encourage you more than to simply tip it out.
Oh, I guess you're upper middle class. I'm going to say right now, a lime and a Corona on a Sunday. Oh, that's the dream.
Never seen you have one.
I don't know what the median pay for our podcast listeners are, but maybe poor. I'm with you guys. A Corona's great. Carl's the elite. Look at you, mister. I won't have a lime in my beer.
Let's go out on an assumption. All the listeners are poor.
You got bad taste and you probably drink Corona. You probably listen to this podcast. Your taste buds are fucked. Your ears are probably fucked too.
They've got to be poor. Because if anyone's listening to this podcast but earning more than us, oh, that's upsetting.
For us, for your own sanity, if you earn above minimum wage, get out. Just get out of here. This is not for you.
I work for change.
I carry my coins around in a little purse. That's kind of a little coin sack. That's my wage. A little dropped sack on me.
We get filled in on God's eye. This feels like a different script.
Yeah, no, 100%. These have been pretty race heavy. This is a spy thriller with a team. I think this team is the Furious Seven.
But then have also combined it with... Because you've sort of got the Jason Statham plot feels very Fast 5 to me.
Yes.
And then this plot feels very Fast 6.
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't really make sense to put them together, in my opinion. I don't understand why they can't just commit to either Jason Statham being the villain, hunting them down, and having your fun action and everything with him, or doing this outlandish spy stuff. Because I think it hinders. It
does, really. And I guess, it's made its money back. I think they've kind of gone, the spy stuff works. But I think after 8, 9 really took a tanking because of COVID. But I think everyone's a bit like, the spy stuff is not working.
Yeah, I think they... I think the new one is another vengeance tale. Yeah, but also spy stuff. So
they can't go back now. They've committed. They've done the spy stuff.
It's weird they've jumped to this though. When I think the bits of this plot feel like they probably should have come before 6. Like it makes sense that they would go, "Hey, you guys are all outlaws."
Yeah.
If this was after 5, to go, "You guys are all outlaws. Do these tasks for us because we have absolute deniable accountability."
Yes.
Because you guys are outlaws and are doing them. But we will help you. That's basically Suicide Squad. But but that makes more sense for them to be doing these missions more than hunting down Shaw.
Well, I don't
it doesn't make sense for them.
So the main thing is they're like, all right, we're trying to... Again, this happened like 3 times now. Kurt Russell's like, we're trying to hunt down a terrorist who's working with Shaw, and he has this god eye, and if you kind of help us get this terrorist down, then you could use it to hunt down Shaw.
Yeah.
That's kind of the plan. It keeps just being adjacent things. They're kind of like, we're doing parallel
So why even try and hunt down Shaw when Shaw has been with you at near every scene?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it seems weird they're like, oh, we need to hunt down Shaw, but they've had like 3 chances to kill Shaw. They're like, oh, let's stop this mission. Let's just get Shaw. I don't know why they're invested in the God's Eye, really.
No, and I thought they were going to tie it in somehow by saying... Because it made no sense Shaw knew where they were all the time.
No,
I assumed Shaw was somehow using the God's Eye.
Yeah, me too.
So...
Because when they capture him, like, midway through the point, it's kind of like, your enemy's enemy. I thought he was it was a bit more of a twist, but it wasn't a twist. He's like, I'm working with the villains too. But not really. It's odd. It's not really... I don't know what Vin's reason for doing this is. Yeah. It seems like he just wants to kill Shaw, and he's been wrapped up with this whole terrorist thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. But you get the set pieces.
Yeah, you get the set pieces.
And that's really what is selling this. Because we can go into... Are we up to the...
Yeah, we're up to the first big one.
Yeah.
Which is them jumping out of the plane.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
This is probably the best set piece of this movie.
I think so.
And I think it's a long sequence of them from plane fall.
From them... I mean, we can just go... the plane, they come out the plane, a bit of comedy with...
Tyrese. The Gibbs.
He doesn't want to fly, but they make him
Which
dangerous,
is very violent. They could have killed the Gibbs.
Oh, they can't kill the Gibbs, baby. Anyway, so they parachute down the cars. Again, it's a crazy scene because they're pretty much... Kurt Russell's like, well, here's the plan. We need to, stop these guys in the trucks. And the guy's like, it's going to be tough. And then, the Gibbs is like, what we got in there? The most dangerous spot ever. And Kurt Russell's like, I like your tenacity. They wouldn't think about that. Why are they allowed to do this?
I don't know. The fact that they go, nobody will see it coming, but somehow Shaw does.
Yeah.
Shaw beats them there, and they don't explain it.
It's a crazy way to do so. Like, they wouldn't expect it. It's like, yeah, I know, but they've also pre-expected it, so that's why they've fortified it.
Yeah.
So they have thought about it.
Ugh.
Nuts. Anyway, they parachute it. In fairness, no one thought about parachuting it, so they've done it pretty well. parachute in, and then they get I'd say is it like for 30 minutes? It feels long.
Yeah, I think
it's in a good way.
Yeah, I think it's like a 15-minute scene.
Yeah.
It's a lot of action.
Yeah.
And it keeps on leveling itself up. And I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
I don't think they top it the rest of the movie.
No, definitely not.
And I think it has, it's a pretty stupid and CGI climax to the scene. Paul Walker running up the bus is quite fun onto another car.
But it's quite practical other than that.
Yeah, the practical stuff in this sequence looks great.
Yeah. Do you have any highlights of that stuff?
No, I think I can just compliment it.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I will also keep complimenting about the movie is I think Paul Walker's easily the best with hand-to-hand action sequences of the cast.
Yeah.
Outside of Letty. She's really good.
She is really good. I was looking it up. I think they're all sort of like, what do you want to do? I think Paul's thing was like, I want to do more hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
And he has a couple of scenes. He has like this fun little rivalry with one of the
other villains.
Yeah. And they do a lot of and like he bests him. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good little through line.
Because I don't think it makes sense for anyone else to even be good at hand-to-hand combat.
No, he's the only, and everyone is.
But there's nothing interesting about seeing by the end of the movie Vin Diesel fight.
Yeah.
Jason Statham. They have a pretty boring fight. And then
got that weird contract where they're like, oh, no one can lose. Like, what a fucking pointless thing.
But even visually, it is them on like a car park roof.
Oh, yeah.
Stilted, going back and forth like it's like an old-fashioned Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
Whereas the Brian one versus the terrorist.
Oh, he's playing around with the environment.
Downstairs, and there's a bit of parkour.
In the car, I feel like they're playing around with like the levers and stuff. They're shooting off everything. It's great. It's fun.
Way more dynamic and interesting. It's obvious that Vin Diesel can't keep up.
Yeah.
With doing more interesting stunt, or his. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing where he wants to do more stunt, but obviously can't do it. I don't know. Like
you could definitely feel it.
Yeah. But yeah, this scene's fantastic. We find out God's Eye is invented by somebody named Ramsey.
Yeah.
She has been kidnapped.
She's a woman, a hacker. That's a woman. The film will not let it go.
Grinds to a halt.
Goes, well, hang on. I want to fuck her. I'm having confused feelings.
This stuff.
She's on her computer and she's hot. What the hell's my dick doing, huh?
This stuff.
Tyrese and the
age
Gibbs.
well.
Tyrese and Ludacris go on about this for a good 20 minutes.
Oh, they're back and forth of like dibs. No, I'm the Gibbs and I dibs.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm allowed to do that. I'm like, guys, it's up to her.
Yeah, so as they're like arguing over like who can fuck her first, she's like, oh, I left the God's Eye at a friend's place at Abu Dhabi. We better go over there. Smash cut. She's getting out the water. The Gibbs and Ludacris jacking off on the towels. Just like, oh God, I want to fuck her so bad, but she's a hacker. How can this work?
The movie grinds to a halt for these jokes.
Oh,
it's really weird.
This next set piece is fun because like the action's always been like there's 3 action scenes. They're all sort of going back and forth. This next action scene is like 2 of the action scenes, and then the Gibbs freestyling comedy for a bit.
Oh, his improv is.
I don't know if it's improv. Oh, surely it's not written. I don't know.
It simply is the Gibbs.
It's what he brings to the movie.
What he brings
to the movie Gibbs
is that vibe of it feels improv-y. Oh, so it feels written, but nobody would ever write that.
Yeah.
So
but other characters are like, this is dreadful.
Oh my God, the fact that clearly they edited together and went, oh, that's not funny. Ludacris, come in here and bully your cast member. So I don't understand. She has lent the God's Eye to a friend in a car
for safekeeping. Okay, which made sense. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Then he's put it in a car for safekeeping. He's like, I totally sold that car. I'm so sorry.
What an idiot.
Moron.
What a fucking idiot.
But don't worry, I can get you to the most exclusive party in Abu Dhabi. Don't worry, you're going to be on that party level. We're going to go up there. Nuts, stupid man, idiot. It's just for this. They had the idea. They must have seen the 3. Are the 3 buildings real, do we think?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Cool. They had that idea. They're like, we gotta go. We gotta figure out a way to be the Abu Dhabi.
This was their money shot for their trailers.
It was
this car sequence,
Yeah.
which is basically them saying, "How can we do Mission Impossible with a car?"
It literally is that. They're like, we'll go to the United Arab Emirates. We'll get the car climbing up the building. It's like, does that work? No. Okay, we'll start the building up top.
The car can climb down, yes. No.
No. Drive down?
Could it jump
Yeah.
onto what? Another building?
Go on.
And then another building?
All right, we'll give you 300 million.
Oh, thank God.
We already did it.
We did it. That covers the lawsuits. A lot of people died.
There's such a better action scene beforehand. This one feels. I don't know what you'd even. The tone's off. So you got Letty. They're essentially like, we're doing a heist real quickly. They got Letty.
Yeah.
She's the kind of distraction. Okay.
Yeah, she's versing Ronda Rousey.
Who's she?
Do you remember the year of Ronda?
No.
So Ronda Rousey was a very big, I think, female MMA fighter.
Yep.
Don't fact check that. The sport. I'm
demanding. Don't fact check that.
Don't fact check that. Or she was a boxer or something. I remember she was in 2015. She was in the Entourage movie, this and something else.
Wow.
She couldn't act in any of them, and then her star sort of faded.
Yeah.
But for some reason, she was a very big sportswoman.
Yeah.
And that's why she's in this scene. But it was the same sort of reason as to why Letty and Gina Carano had a big fight in the 6th one. Because Gina Carano was also big at the time off of Haywire and was also a professional sportsman.
Gotcha. Weird that the film's just like... Well, anyway, she's fighting some hot guards.
Well, remember, actually, we didn't talk about it, but the beginning of the movie has What's-Her-Face.
Oh, Iggy Azalea?
Yeah, Iggy Azalea doing an American accent. How dare you?
Yeah.
You are an Australian.
You're at Race Wars.
Like
You act like an Australian at Race Wars. Don't be ridiculous.
You're there for us.
Representing Australia and what we stand for at Race Wars.
How dare you?
Anyway, yeah, so Letty's...
Not fancy behavior, if you ask me.
God, we are quick.
Huh?
Aren't we good?
Is that her song?
That is her song. You've nailed it.
Nailed it. From LA to Tokyo. The 2 locations of the film.
Is it Abu Dhabi a line?
From LA to Abu Dhabi to Tokyo.
Great stuff. Letty's fighting some women guards. Weird she doesn't fight men, but hey, we'll go for that. The hacker... Ramsey and Ludacris are hacking because that's what they do now. The hackers. The Gibbs.
Yeah, it's funny they absolutely don't justify Ludacris or the Gibbs being in this movie.
No, they don't. They're like, fuck,
They've even brought in another hacker.
Yeah, they're like, we're trying to get you out. You're old news. What would you call Ludacris? Oh, sorry, the Gibbs.
They call him the Joker.
Yeah.
Ramsey goes around and goes, you're an alpha. You're a female alpha. You're an absolute piece of shit human being, Joker. And the Gibbs goes, oh, okay.
Fuck me dead. Jeez, I just met you and saved you. Fuck you. He does then prove it in this next scene.
That is all he is.
Yeah, he's freestyling comedy, causing distraction.
How does he even get out of the situation? You feel like it's the type of situation that would get him killed.
Yeah, definitely. But it's the Gibbs, baby.
He walks away.
He can get out of any... Remember in the 5th one, he was the talking guy, and he fucked that up so badly?
Oh, yeah.
God.
Yeah, this is one job. He has no reason to be a part of these scenes. Okay.
Anyway, but then Dom and Brian are like, all right, we've been snuck in. So they go into the car safe room. Dom lifts the car.
It's pretty impressive.
I looked it up. A car, like a supercar, roughly about, 1,500 to 2,000 kilos. Strongest man ever. Recorded history has lifted 2,800, which is a lot. In fairness to the film, did not know a man could lift 2,800 kilos, but can Dom?
Well, did the strongest man in the world hold it? For 5 minutes.
No. Paul Walker. No. Okay, I'm back on my side. Yes. So it's insane. But he lifts the car.
Well, because in my head I thought, it's probably a dummy model car or something. Like, it doesn't have an engine. And then they hop in it and drive it and I go, so he's just that strong.
Yeah. We get the most iconic scene. They drive through the party. Guess what? The guy they're hunting comes to hunt them.
Yeah, he just walks in all of a sudden. Whatever. Yeah, they successfully get this car smashed through 3 buildings.
Yeah.
The car falls on the ground. Luckily, it doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
It probably would.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
This is fun. They don't have to atone for anything.
No. They're out there. It's crazy. They're just like, better get back to LA. We're in LA.
No, so we get Dom's now got the God's Eye.
Yeah.
He goes up to Mr. Nobody. He goes, and here's the God's Eye for you. Signed, sealed, delivered. And Mr. Nobody goes, fantastic. And here it is back to you
Yep.
to find Shaw.
And you can find Shaw. What a silly thing to do. He's like, now you can use the computers. He's like, thank you. All right, Ramsey, where are you? There you go. You can do it.
They put the God's Eye into an iPad.
Yeah.
In the next scene, they lose this iPad.
They lose. Also, I feel like the fifth one? Yeah. What was Mia's eyes in the sky? Because it seemed like that was just God's eye.
Yeah.
But they've just lost that technology.
We need a mirror on a radio.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're going to crash into a second building. oh, don't worry, there's a third one coming up.
Just slow down on that. Anyway, we've tracked down Shaw. He's hiding out in a barn. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, it looks like a barn or a shed.
Yeah.
A place where supplies are
But
wrapped
here's
and
the
kept.
twist. Here's the twist. Shaw was working with a terrorist. I thought we knew that.
Yeah, Shaw was working with Digimon Hansu.
Yeah.
And so they pull a fast one. Mr. Nobody's shot.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to kill him, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And he
I
will
was
be
still
back.
I was still waiting for him to be the twist villain. I think Kurt
Yeah.
Russell just wanted some Corona money.
Well, when they hand him the God's Eye, sinister music plays.
It does.
Goes,
Is he not the
bum,
villain
bum,
ever?
bum.
Is he not the villain?
No.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a good twist that he's not a villain.
It's weird when Charlize Theron comes into the franchise as like the big villain.
Yeah.
Because she's just a hacker. Like the movies respect races and hackers for some reason.
Exactly. They've gone, this is the
This is
future.
our dumb-
Computers.
This is all our audience enjoys.
Cars.
Cars and computers.
Yeah.
Smart.
We ran the numbers. The test audiences didn't lie.
We asked Twitch what they wanted and it was this.
We asked a car magazine to write in. This is what they wanted. We got the 2 demos, okay? That's all we got. We made $4 billion.
We asked Cars, Computers and Condoms magazine what movie they wanted and it was this one.
We'll get ready for X, baby.
Oh,
Be lubricated.
yeah, Fast XXX.
That would be a good porn. I feel like there's begging
It'd
to
be a great porn.
Yeah, good for
Jason
them.
Momoa walking in, whipping that hair around. Mr. Nobody's shot.
Yes.
So now Jason Statham's going to use God's Eye to track down the Fast and Furious crew.
Yes.
So they go back to LA because they go, nobody would know our streets more than us.
Yeah.
It makes... I can't put it into words how frustrating this film is.
It's really.
In
I
that-
remember it being better than. I remember maybe.
Same. I also
It's such
agree. I remember
fatigue.
it being better.
I'm like, this is silly. This is getting
When
ridiculous.
you watch one of them every 4 years, they
Yeah.
come out. Obviously, it's easier.
it's fine.
But man, so what the plot of the movie ended up being was Jason Statham knew their every move, and so the Fast and Furious crew had to find God's Eye so they could use God's Eye to find the guy that knew their every move.
And had been running into constantly.
Immediately, they lose God's Eye, and the guy who's been able to track them down with ease the entire movie now has God's Eye to help him find them yet again in LA where it all started.
Yep.
Which is to say, the movie didn't need to leave LA.
Now hang on. Letty's memory got jogged back, so I think it was all worth it.
She went on a journey. She realized
She went on a hero's circle journey in the sense that she literally back where she began.
Yeah, she's now back to where she was in the 4th film.
Yeah.
The regression of these characters is ridiculous.
Oh, we get okay.
This is the worst part of the movie.
It
I think
is.
This is what bogs it down. Is this awful
I didn't remember this at all. It's silly. There's like a drone.
boring.
The terrorist has like a drone, but they also have a helicopter. They're like, I think the plot is that they're trying to hack the God's Eye, and they need to be in range. They need to be in a cell tower. It's silly, but
It's dull as well. I don't
It
think
is.
it's interesting.
it's a CGI mess as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel real, does it? at
No,
all?
it doesn't. And also in comparison to what they were doing the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
such a nothing set piece.
It really
and
is, isn't
it's
it?
their longest one. I think this is
so
such a long one.
Because it starts off with them blowing up everything, then Dwayne rocks up halfway through,
Yeah.
drives an ambulance off a bridge.
How did he know where they were going to be?
How many fucking bridges did he fall off and go, nope, not that one. Oh, shit, okay, let me drive around this one. Nope.
How did he get an ambulance?
I got no, he stole it. He's a criminal. He's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I don't mind. Shaw's gonna die. I'll kill anybody. I'll stop saving lives just so Shaw can die.
Crazy. The other thing is, so God's Eye works by it's basically the thing from the Dark Knight that ripped off.
Scans everything.
It just scans everything, and then they use your face recognition to know where you're going, right? And so they're hunting Ramsey to kill her, to stop her being able to make another or track them down, delete them. Yeah. So if she had just worn a balaclava, would everything be fine?
That's God's Eye, baby. I think it also checks voice. They quickly brush over what it can do. I think a hat wouldn't be able to stop
So a
it.
balaclava and not speaking.
Oh, you're fine then. You're absolutely
that
fine.
Would outsmart this weapon.
I think so.
Great. Okay.
It feels so unpractical, this last bit. I can't remember any scene. Jason Statham and Dom.
They have a bad fight. I don't like it. It's
they
boring.
have a fight. I think the best part's Brian is running up the building. This is about
Brian has the best
he
sequence
does.
in this.
He's got a fun parkour scene in this building to try and get the tower. They slide down some stairs on a door. I thought that was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I liked that. I liked how the guy ended up dying too.
Yeah, it was
great.
good.
It's a great little scene in amongst this awful CGI.
You have to it's a massive drone flying around LA, and then at the end they're like, the military's just rocked up. How are they not here more?
Oh, they should have been there. We know what the American military's like.
Yeah,
this wouldn't have happened for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh no, LA's been. Oh, it's just LA. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll get to it.
We then get, I think, in my opinion, is the worst line of the franchise.
It's huge.
Big line, right? Do you want to explain the line?
I mean, in fairness, I'm still burned. My worst line for this movie was when they were driving out of Abu Dhabi in the car. Dom was like, "You couldn't put a beast in a cage," and then when he gets in the car, he's like, "I'm gonna release the beast." That was pretty bad for me. But what was your line?
I liked that. That's good. That's a good
Oh,
one.
you like that line?
Yeah, it's a great line. He's inferring he's the beast.
Yeah.
And the car was a cage.
Are we talking about the street line?
Yep.
Oh, I freaking love the street line.
Street line makes no sense.
No sense. I think that one is Dom. I don't remember him being that much from the streets, but hey, anyway. So the drone blows up the car park where Statham and Dwayne, where Dom are.
It lightly cracks the surface.
Dom says, "Hey, you should never fight against the streets because the streets always win." Steps on the crack, breaks the car park.
I think you're making the line better.
What's the actual line?
The line is, here's the thing about the street. The street always wins.
I have made it better. It's that easy to make it better.
It doesn't make sense. What's he inferring? They're not even on a street. They're in a fucking car park. It doesn't even make sense to do it there.
But also, why is that a flex? You don't own the street. Is he just saying, cosmically, we're all fucking doomed because the streets own us?
That line would make sense if then, say, people of the streets, revolutionized against Jason Statham.
Yeah, if he said, this is Brazil, and they all kind of got to him. But no, he
a great line in the franchise.
But no, it's just yeah.
I don't even want to talk about Vin dying and Letty getting her memory back.
Oh, it's not. He drives into the drone.
I just said I don't want to talk about it. It is funny though. You think he's missed the helicopter?
That was
a great. You're an idiot.
I thought for the first time he'd failed. For the first fucking time he hadn't gone his way, and it was a silly plan. Drive the car up a ramp and crash into the fucking helicopter. Yeah,
his plan was for them to slightly move anyway.
Slightly move, put a bag of grenades on the thing, and then
then Hobbs 100 yards away goes, "Is that grenades?" Oh, well, it's either apples or grenades, and shoot it.
They stop the terrorists. Shaw's in prison. Letty and Dom are like, "I remember being in love. That's crazy. We should be in love more." Yeah.
And now we get the iconic scene.
We do.
I think this is another reason the movie also propelled. This is one of the the most played videos on YouTube.
It's nuts. It's
Hugely downloaded song.
Yeah.
It was massive for more than a year.
Yeah.
Like, huge. This is a very sweet scene, genuinely. I think
we've watched... I finally got, like, what this scene, like... Yeah, fair enough. You've sort of grown up with this franchise. I think they did a really good job. Like, I mean, like, sort of... This could have been handled pretty poorly.
It could have. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
When the fact that he died mid-production...
Yeah.
It's very... I've also really got to commend the director for pulling a movie together.
Yeah.
In the wake of one of your leads passing away, which would have caused rewrites, people probably not wanting to come to work. Like, I think that just would have been a nightmare to try and get through. To have a near cohesive film like this.
Oh, that's the thing.
Good.
It's hard to like. There's issues. It's like, well,
yeah. Can you sort of gloss over the issues in the wake of what the production had to go through?
And I think that's why the reviews were pretty good. It's like, I mean, you see what what this franchise is. You kind of go, it's one that's probably second best. I don't know if I'd put it there, but
for a franchise that is never tasteful, it's a very tasteful send off.
It is.
Like, it's very well handled. It's very sweet, and I think how they second-handed sort of weaved in a C plot of retiring that character,
yes,
rather than saying either kill him off or not do anything about it. Pretty well handled.
It is really well handled.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of what elevates the film, and I think that's why it did so well.
Yeah,
a combo of like one, it's a pretty good blockbuster.
Yeah,
I mean, we've kind of, but it's a good blockbuster in the sense of a blockbuster. That was nothing. See, I'll cut
go on, no, keep that in. Go on.
Jesus Christ.
Idiot. I didn't mean that.
It's a great blockbuster. I think everyone being a bit morbidly curious kind of got the better hand of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a reason why I watched it.
Yeah, and then they're lucky that the movie, I think, backed itself up.
Yeah, it did.
So,
and then it also, ironically, got a bunch of new fans from the franchise. Like, it's crazy. The first was like, oh, it's big. Second, third, fourth got the fans back in. It's like, fifth kind of got everyone back in. And it's like, all right, this is getting silly. Then seventh skyrocketed. It's made a $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl, who would watch Furious 7?
It's funny because a lot of the other ones up until this point have been, who would watch this, just a fan of Fast and Furious. Yes. As the deeper you get into the franchise, the more it alienates the general audience.
Yeah.
So it's funny for a whole franchise to blow up bigger than ever, to double the predecessing movies,
tripled,
box office. So obviously this was like for a new group of people.
Yeah.
I wanna bring out that I'm pretty sure this is it. Is it released in 2015?
Yeah.
So this is the year Jurassic World, Age of Ultron, this, and Star Wars.
Fucking hell.
Force Awakens all come out and all smash the box office.
What a big year.
Yeah. So I just think genuinely, and I saw all of them in cinemas.
Yeah.
It was sort of a year for if you loved a blockbuster. They were all pretty solid.
They were pretty
like
solid.
They were
Jurassic Park, yeah, pretty
like
good.
They all churned out crowd-pleasing, well-made blockbusters.
Yeah.
Like better blockbusters than you're getting this year.
Yeah.
Like, so... so this was like one that I think was like, oh, I saw the appeal. If you were paying for a cinema ticket, this was sort of the one that was going, this is a movie for a cinema.
Yeah.
So... I think it's just if you're a fan of...
crazy that those four movies made probably, what, $8 billion?
Yeah, together? Like, yeah, nuts.
That's just in the realm.
Yeah.
How, like, upsetting for some other years. Like, there ain't no money. It's like, yeah, there is. Where is it? Where the fuck's the money?
So, yeah, I think it's for fans of blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the biggest ever. And I think watching it, no, it's not the best Fast and Furious movie, but it's pretty decent blockbuster. Oscar, who would watch this?
I mean, you've got like the nice send off of, I think that attracted a lot of people. And I think it's done incredibly well considering the whole circumstances. But it is getting more silly. I don't know. I think it, like, genuinely, it's the car thing isn't an issue now. I think it's not stopping people from watching these movies. Like, if you're sort of like a bit like, oh, it's not a car film anymore, really. Like, yes, they gawk at cars and everything, but it's more of a very loose superhero, but they're not superheroes. It's a very odd one, but it's got this sort of. It almost feels like, again, they had a franchise from. They had a first one, and they made 7 of them, trying to amass to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And this is what this one did.
Yeah. So who would watch it?
I don't know, like grannies at like a retirement home, you know, sort of, you know, if you have a hot, like, sort of dry teacher.
You got a hot teacher, yeah.
Hot teacher, you know, maybe you're, you know, putting on for the oldies, yeah.
Whatever, when you got this out on tape, chuck it into the VCR, click play, and let the crowd enjoy.
Oh, it's a crowd pleaser for all ages.
It's a crowd, yeah, it is. 0 to 100. If you're on either side of that, you're not going to enjoy it.
Carl, what are we reviewing next week?
We're doing another.
We're just so defeated. We're doing another fucking The Fate and the Furious. Is that what it's called?
The Fate of the Furious. F8 is up here in the poster, and down here is The Fate of the Furious.
And this is where it starts to get bad again.